Well, go on, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Here we are back again with another stream on your head top. Already got a few comments coming in. Why are we waiting? Don't you worry, I'm here. An early gang. Yes, Tish. Yes, Ed. Nice to see you guys. And big up Jake as well. I haven't seen you for a week. It feels like a while. Saw you in person last week. Hope you're all doing good, people. Hope you've all had a good week. It's Friday. You know what I mean? Relax. Hope you're sipping with a beer, cider, whatever you're drinking. Let me know what you are drinking tonight, guys. I'm here with another video and I'm happy. As you can see, the energy's up. I've had a coffee not too long ago. Well, a few hours ago. But anyways, let's get into it. First month first. Before I get into it, I'm stumbling my words. I want to just say a massive thank you to everyone. This channel was created a month ago. It's been 4 weeks on Thursday. 4 weeks on Thursday, the channel was created. There's a video posted and we're already on 115 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone who supported, clicked on a video, liked, commented, shared. In here right now, we got you people. Look at that, 115 subs. Water, that's what I'm sipping on as well. As always, I've got another bottle that can crack open at some point as well. So yes, it's nice to see. Been working, bro, every time you stream lately. Hope you're well. I am doing good, and I know you've been on that grind. Yo, you're always on that grind, Jake, man. On the flavored water again. Tells everyone it's vodka. Yeah. Oh, but yes, it's nice to see you. I'm gonna get moving on now. Let me know your future ideas after that big thank you, please. Let me know some future ideas. Get them in the comments below. Message me. You should see in the video description my social media. So if you can follow me on there and we can interact on there as well. And you let me know what you want to see and I can put a few of your comments and I'll shout you all out on there. Thank you for everyone already. So as you can see from the title, I'm going to be grading each Premier League club's transfer window, the business that they got up to this summer. I'm going to give my personal opinion and grading them probably in the American way, like A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, and F for failure, whatever. But yeah, you'll start to get the gist of things when I give my first team the grade, which is my team, Arsenal. And you know what? We may as well kick off there with Arsenal Football Club. I can share my screen with you right now. Let's get on this screen. Let's have a look at the transfers that Arsenal made. When I start this, by the way, I'm going to start off with the outs first. Hold on, let me just get the background. The reason why I thought I'd start off with the outs is because we're able to see like the players that have left Arsenal from the previous season. How much money we can make, how much money we've made. Is it good? Is it enough? Are we lucky to be making that much money, etc.? Or have we been shortchanged? And you know what? Starting with Arsenal, we probably have been. So let me get into it now. We'll start off with Joe Willock. £26 million to Newcastle United for the 21-year-old. In my personal opinion, I think that is a good sale from Arsenal. Before he went on loan to Newcastle, I wasn't Joe Willock's biggest fan. I never really thought that his style of play, his decision-making in particular, was required at the suitable level for Arsenal, for a team like Arsenal, who are going to be we're going to be coming up against teams with a low block and teams that we're going to have to break down and they're looking to counter-attack us. Yes, I know we've started the season horrifically, but even if you look at Brentford, we dominated the possession and we were required to break them down and they hit us on the counter-attack too easily. But yeah, against most teams, when we play up against Chelsea and Manchester City, Liverpool, Man United, it may be a bit different. But with Joe Willock for the majority of games, I do think it is a good move for him as well. The fact that he's going to be able to move out, play regular football, team where he really smashed it and hit the ground running, which is why we was able to get that nice fee, that nice £26 million for him, over 26. So I do think Arsenal have had good business there. Lucas Torreira, as he's left for Fiorentina, disappointing one. I wanted a transfer fee in that one. Yeah, another loan one, and the fact that he spent another season on loan there, another year in his contract, another year where he loses value. So a bit disappointing there. Willian, I know it looks like it says a free transfer. We did only get him on a free transfer, but with how that conspired, the fact that he took the pay cut, I was happy with the decision in the end. I was very impressed with Willian, and he really does show that he wasn't just at Arsenal for the money, and he shut up a lot of haters. He received too much criticism, in my opinion. Yes, he was a terrible signing, and didn't have a good time at Arsenal, and he didn't meet up to expectations or anywhere near that he was like at Chelsea. So yeah, Matteo Guendouzi, another disappointing one. The fact that we wasn't able to sell him. I'm not going to spend too long now because this is Arsenal. I could make a whole Arsenal video just grading our transfer window and going into more depth on players like Guendouzi and my thoughts on him. But for me, I do think that it was a disappointing factor that we only got him out on loan, whereas his contract's going to run up at the end, so we're not really going to be able to make a profit on him. William Saliba, I'm disappointed in that one personally. As I said, I'm not going to spend too long. I'm disappointed the fact that he went on loan, but I can see from Arteta's point of view that he's a young 20-year-old centre-back that doesn't actually have a lot of appearances under his belt. So the fact that he's gone to France with the personal development as well, the fact that he's gone through some personal tragedies in his time at the club. So now he's able to go back, develop, learn a bit more and develop his game and get regular game time and build more experience, which hopefully that he makes it back at Arsenal and competes for a first team place and will be a star for the future. And he does fulfill his potential. Reece Nelson, disappointing that we got him out on loan and wanted to sell for him as well. Runarsson, disaster of a signing. Didn't cost too much for Arsenal, so I guess it's not that much of a disaster, but we're going to struggle to shift him on. Nowhere near required for the Premier League at the level of the Premier League. Bellerin, another player that I'm disappointed the fact that it's just a loan with the wages that he's got, and he's not really that high in demand, and the price that Arsenal would be looking for him. It makes sense. He'll probably be one of them that leaves on a free transfer. Another mistake. By the way, that wasn't Arteta's fault or Edu's, even though they received a lot of criticism for this transfer window from Arsenal fans, and struggling to shift players on. They weren't the ones who gave Bellerin however much he's on. So, those are previous mistakes that they're trying to rectify, and they are very young and inexperienced in the role as well. So that they're going to struggle. But yeah, hence Bellerin disappointed that one's just a loan. David Luiz without a club makes understandable. Erdogan, that's there. But Danny Ceballos and Matty Ryan, they didn't renew their loan. Danny Ceballos, I'm not too fussed about that. But Matt Ryan, I was disappointed to see that we didn't get him back. But as he spoke out in an interview, that Arsenal were looking for, he was open to the move, but Arsenal were looking for a homegrown goalkeeper, as we saw with the ins, which I'm going to quickly go over now. Ben White, hopefully he fulfills his potential. Over 50 million we've paid on him. He's received a lot of criticism. One of those optimistic and positive Arsenal fans that hopes that he will develop. He does have flaws in his game. Hopefully he does develop and reach his potential. He has a lot of it. We know his strengths to his game as well, which is why he costs 50 million, as well as the fact that he's English. So yeah, hopefully he gets there and fulfills that. Next to Gabriel, as he struggled in his first game against Brentford. Martin Erdogan, brilliant signing. I was quite surprised that we got him in the end. Given the fact that we're not in Europe and at all. I thought that we'd have had to make the Champions League to keep it and sign a player like Martin Odegaard, but as the situations turned out, we didn't need to. The fact that Real Madrid were trying to get rid of players and trying to make some money, and Martin Odegaard isn't a part of Carlo Ancelotti's future, so I was happy with that one. I was impressed, and I wanted him over James Maddison. Let me know what your thoughts are on Ben White and Martin Odegaard as well as Aaron Ramsdale. I was one of the few Arsenal fans that was happy to bring him in, a young English goalkeeper, just like Ben White, has flaws to his game. Still got time to develop, though, and I do hope, and I do think that he will develop into a good goalkeeper. Takahiro Tomiyasu, can't lie, I haven't seen much of him in his career. 22-year-old. By the way, can you see the trend that Arsenal are going for? 23, 22, 23, 22, 21, 21. So yeah, those are the types of players that we went for in this transfer window, which I'm happy with. I'm happy with the approach and the fact that we have a strategy to this. So I'm not seeing too much of him. He's had good rave reviews. I've watched a few clips on Instagram, on YouTube, and yeah, I do like what I see. I like his versatility, and hopefully he'll provide a good, solid. I know it says centre back here, but he'll probably play right back. He may even play in the right sided of a back three. We'll have to wait and see. So I'll give you more opinions on him as I see more of him. Lokonga, very impressed with that one. Impressive player. A lot of potential into his game as well. Already a Belgian international playing in their midfield, which says quite a lot. And yes, we signed him from Anderlecht for a decent price. I'm not too bothered about transfer fees or value, whether we sign him for 5 million, 50 million. As long as they succeed, they will. Even if you sign him for 5 million, if they perform well in an Arsenal shirt, they'll be seen as a success, even if it's 550, 500. And if they don't succeed, then they'll always be seen as a failure. So that's why I don't really harp on about transfer fees too much. Nuno Tavares, backup left back, understand that one. And it would have made more sense if we do get rid of Kolasinac, who may leave. So yeah, Nuno Tavares, I don't think he's quite ready yet to play in the Arsenal first team, in my opinion. But hopefully he does prove me wrong, and he has had a decent pre-season for Arsenal. He's good going forward defensively, left a little bit to be desired in my opinion, so we'll have to wait and see there. Balogun's on a new contract, Kolasinac stayed, and yeah. And then having a quick look at the squad. I know I spent quite long on Arsenal. We're already like 12 minutes into the video and we're still on Arsenal. We've got 19 Premier League teams to go and I still haven't given you my grade. But yeah, we have brought in a goalkeeper, centre-back, two centre-backs, if you count Tomiyasu as one of them. You can play a right-back as well, so we brought in there, got rid of a right-back, didn't sign a defensive midfielder, which is what I wanted, and I'm not going to go too much into that because that's a little hint in what I'm going to do for my next video. But we have brought Sambi Lokonga, and yeah, and we didn't shift on a few players. Ainsley Maitland-Niles ended up staying, Mohamed El Nene, Kolasinac, of course, who was about to let him go for free to Fenerbahce, but ended up keeping him. So, yeah. And for me, before I get into the comments, I'm just going to give you my grade for Arsenal. And that is, you will see right about now, that is my Arsenal grade. And it is a C-. That is why I did go for Arsenal, C-. And that, for me, it's above, it's a pass. It's just about passing. Lower part of the pass, lower grade. I do think that we have filled out most positions, about 90% of the positions that we've needed, apart from the defensive midfielder. And we kept the likes of El Nene. We shifted quite a few players on. They're off the wage books, but not of the sales that we required. So yeah, for me, Arsenal is a C-. Let me have a look at a few of your comments before I move on to the next one. Oh, here we go. I've got quite a few to catch up on. Come on, my bro. Nice to see you, Shearer. Thank you for coming. Ed's giving you a quick shout as well. Boney, nice to see you, man. Yo, T, sorry I'm late. I just got in. It's Wilfred here. Yes, my boy Wilfred. Love you, man. Ed Marsh, why do I have to read your whole name? Stand by, everyone. He's talking Arsenal. Runnison, going to a team I've never heard of. Exactly. We've signed him from a team that I never heard of either. Steve, nice to see you too, bro. Yo, T, sorry I'm late. Just got in. It's Slaphead Steve here. Nice to see you, man. Thank you for your comment. All right, I'm back. Nice to see you, Shearer. You're back again. I'm happy with White and Ramsdale. However, I'm extremely unhappy with the price. Yeah, Steve, it's one of them ones. As long as they're successful, for me, as long as they perform in an Arsenal shirt, the price will never matter. The price only matters, and you've heard Harry say this, if they don't perform. So, yeah, for me, that's why I'm not too bothered about the price. If they perform and they stay at Arsenal and they help move us back up the table into Champions League football, not this season by the looks of it, oh no, fingers crossed, hopefully, eventually move us back into Champions League football, you're going to be happy. And if they become a mainstay and help us get back to the glory years, it doesn't really matter about the price. So yeah, have that type of attitude and look towards it. Maybe you're a bit more realistic and I'm a bit too optimistic. That's the thing. All this chat, we know he's going to say this is a grade C. Exactly. You got it right. You guessed it. Samson, yes, my G, nice to see you, bro. Tish, yeah, get to Liverpool. We'll get there soon. I'll have to get at this rate. We didn't expect you to rush through Arsenal. Exactly. 15 minutes in and we haven't even moved. We've only still stuck on Arsenal. Reason I think price is important, as the funds could have bought another player, specifically a midfielder. Yeah, I guess you're right in that sense. But like, who would you have liked to see at Arsenal? It's about Arteta, really. I think that we could have signed another centre midfielder if Arteta really did want one. And we'll have to wait and see how, if Sambi Lokonga can break into the first team, really support Granit Xhaka and move him down to the squad player that I think he is. So, yeah, I do understand where you're coming from. Basuma would have been affordable if we'd have got a cheaper centre back or a cheaper goalkeeper for the likes of Matty Ryan for 9 million or so, or for free actually, not 9 million. So yeah, we'd have saved up on 25 million there. Everyone else can rush through Arsenal. Jake, Man City found it very okay. Loving that. There you go. That's the last one. I'm glad I get to move on from Arsenal now. But yes, back to that one. Arsenal, I have given them a grade C. For the next one is Aston Villa. So let me get this one up here for you. Aston Villa's transfer window. Off of first glance and off of my first look, I thought, you know what? Pretty good, given the fact that they have sold Jack Grealish, which is their major out, and which I'm going to get to right about now. I could have done this whilst reading and give you my answers for the comments. Get your comments in, people. I'm loving them already. That's next season's transfers. I'm making a complete hash of this, but I'm back. Here it is, ready to go. Arrivals, that's next season. Let me sort this. Sorry, technical difficulties. Tariq losing the plot, but let's go to the outs. As we can see, Jack Grealish, 100 million. Brilliant sale for Aston Villa. I do think that they have made more than what they have made. I know it's a big player. It's a big loss for them, but for the price that they got there, they should be happy. Samata, who didn't quite reach the levels. Was he really given an opportunity? Didn't really impress when he did play for me either, so it's good that they got him off the books. Bjorn Engels, I thought, was quite poor in an Aston Villa shirt, so they got rid of him. Tom Heaton left on a free transfer. Horihan. Wesley's gone back to Club Brugge on loan. I didn't even know that. Just found that out till now. Frederick Gilbert out on loan as well. Those players are off their wages. Big play, like they would be to a size of, to a club like Aston Villa, they would be on big wages. Neil Taylor left as well. And yes, let's move on to the arrivals. That was the big one. So the replacement for Jack Grealish's creativity, Buendia, good signing for me. Leon Bailey, who's going to add a bit of a balance of creativity and goals. Yet to really see him play. He's had an assist in the substitute appearance that he did make. Suffered a hamstring injury after that. Has an assist already. I think he'll give that balance. And then the goals, he will score more goals than Jack Grealish. Danny Ings, brilliant signing already, proving his worth. Age of 29, being able to bring a striker of his caliber. And he's got goal scoring prowess, pretty decent. Ashley Young returned back to the club. It's a bit meh for me. Experienced player. That's really all he brings. I guess he was decent for Manchester United as well when he did play against average opposition. So he proved that. Will he play at left back? He has played at left back after the horror show that Matty Targett put in against Watford. Tuanzebe, that was a good transfer for Villa. Aston Villa fans were quite impressed with that one after his impressive loan spell, which was in the Championship. Won't get the required minutes at Manchester United with the arrival of Varane. So it's nice to see that he's gone back to Villa and hopefully get more minutes and provide more defensive cover there. Horihan, I've already said about that, and those players are the loans. So for me, for Aston Villa, I am going to give them a B. So let me get that in writing for you. For me, Aston Villa, I have given them a B. Some people may think that's quite harsh on Villa, given the transfer window that they did have. For me, though, they sold Jack Grealish. He probably would have been an A if they could keep Jack Grealish and sign these type of players, but that's not realistic. And Ed, I can see you already. You've gone for a B. You know what? It's like you're reading my mind. You know me too well. Yeah, I went for a B. Replaced him very well. So for me, a B is a better than a pass. It's almost as good. It's not like perfect, but I would be happy with a B. If I'd have got Bs if I would have taken a B in all my GCSEs, A levels. So yeah. It's better than a pass, basically. So, yeah. I want to hear your ratings. Go on, guys. I want to see your grades for Villa. 100 mil for Jack Grealish and a Colvin Moore. My connection's dipping out. Apologies for that, people. Hopefully I should be back. Let me know if you can hear me or anything. I think Young wanted to join Villa to retire there as he grew up there. He actually grew up at Watford, Jake. He did play at Villa though, and that was where he really made his name. So yeah, makes sense. He's probably got a house in Birmingham, so may as well go back and they will take him. Ed gets 2 out of 2. Pick my lottery numbers. I'm just too predictable. That's what it is, Jake. Too many players in at once to be higher than that. Exactly. Can't be an A when so many players join. Spot on, bro. I do agree with that one. I'm back. Where did I go? When did you miss me? Let me know. B plus from Boney here. I do see that one for Villa for me. Okay. Oh, B plus for Villa. Sorry. I was thinking. I was like, oh, 4 in, 4 out. Yeah, I can see that one. I do agree and can see why you would go for a B plus there. So yeah, that's Aston Villa for me. To make it better, could have kept Jack Grealish or brought in a left back as well, as I don't think their left back is very good. And Matt Target, decent, average, but don't think it's at the required level. I popped in to say hello, but have to go as just on my way out. We'll catch you later. Have a good evening, and you too, Steve. Enjoy and have a good evening yourself. So we'll move on to the next team now, which is Brentford. Let me get that one up for you. Probably should have had these bookmarked, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It shouldn't really take me too long. As we're going to have a look at Brentford's transfer window now. As you can see, the departures, Henrik Dalsgaard, the team that come up from the Championship. He was an important player for them. Age of 32, was a key player for them and quite a leader for what I saw when I did watch Brentford play. So yeah, quite a disappointing departure. Maybe wasn't the required level for the Premier League. So yes, he did go to Midtjylland, free transfer. Luke Daniels went to Middlesbrough. Emiliano Marcondes went to Bournemouth. And yes, is that Halil Derisovlo? Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of him as well. He's quite a young player, got a bit of potential about him. We'll maybe wait and see if he can reach the Premier League standard one day. But let's have a look at the arrivals. This is where it's quite good. Good signing in Christopher Aguirre, who was linked with Arsenal in the past as well. So they've made a good signing there. Decent centre-back from Celtic. You know what Celtic do produce, good centre-backs and defenders in general, with the likes of Tierney, Virgil van Dijk. Who else? Is there anyone else that can think of a good player from Celtic? Let me know. Frank Onyeka, who's looked decent when he's come in for 9 million. That's a good signing. Very box-to-box midfielder. Got a good engine. Breaks it down. Looks a little bit like a Thomas Partey, like a B-Tech Thomas Partey for me. Not like as good as Thomas Partey. Jan Wisa. So they've brought in quite a bit of cover and brought in some players that are yet to perform. And given that on the surface of things, for me, I have given Brentford, and it's not, and I know I've said it's quite decent, but I'm actually going to give them a D-. That's what I've gone for Brentford. I've gone for a D-. They haven't really brought much Premier League quality, or not quality. They already have Premier League quality, in my opinion, anyway. We've seen for the previous seasons with the likes of, Depay, Benrahma, Watkins, and who else has gone? But yeah, Benrahma and Watkins, and now you've seen Mbeumo come in. Ivan Toney looked decent for me. Ed said C+. That's gone for a bit higher than me. I went for a D-. I'm not. So yeah, I do think they already have a good squad. I don't think they have actually strengthened in the transfer window. I don't really think they've really strengthened their team. I guess you can say they have from the centre-back position and midfield. But apart from that, they didn't really need to. So for that reason, you know what? You probably are right with a C+. I should probably bump it up to a C. But now I'm going to stick to my guns and say D-. Don't think that their signings will make much of an impact to their team. Kolo Toure. I agree on that rating. With the money they have made, they should have brought in some stronger players. Yeah, exactly. They have made a lot of money over the years with the sales of Benrahma. Watkins was like 30+ million, wasn't he? Benrahma, how much was that? About 20+. We'll probably find out at some point as we get lower down. Won't spend too long on Brentford. I do think they will stay up. But let's move on to Brighton now. The team that Arsenal did sign Ben White off of. I need to go search that up in the bar. Brighton. team that have impressed at the start of the season, and their new signings are looking to settle in quite well. Well, they have settled in quite well from the looks of things. And let's have a look at the outs. Obviously, Ben White's left, Percy Tau. They've received some money from him. Victor, I can't pronounce that name, sorry. But yes, is it Gyökeres or Gyökeres? If you guys know that pronunciation, you can sort me out there. No real major departures. Matt Ryan obviously left on a freeze, contract run out. Andone, who didn't really impress. Abdelacima, who's one that they brought in, has been sent out on loan to Stoke, which is a good player for me. He's got quite high reviews and raving reviews out there from Slavia Prague. We played against him last season. So let's have a look at the arrivals they've made. Enoch Nwepu, who's a decent player from Salzburg, 20 million. So it's a big fee, quite a big fee that they paid for him in the end for the 23-year-old. But he has come with a lot of ratings. Mark Cucurella, and that is one of the brilliant signings for me. I do think I have seen him play. He's a Barcelona graduate from the academy, and he's more of he says left midfield there, but he will play in that left wing back position. He can play left back as well. Very attacking minded, got a lot of speed, energy, good technical ability, cross it what you expect coming from a player coming from Barcelona, as he's wearing a Barcelona shirt in that photo, I think. So yeah, you will be quite impressed with him. I'm looking forward to watching him play, so I do think that's a good signing. Abdelacima as well. It's a good signing for the future. He's a right winger, can also play as a striker as well. They've got some backup in the goalkeeper position. Don't really know too much about him, so I'm not going to speak too much. But for me, for Brighton, let me see what you guys are saying first before I give you my rating for Brighton. You've gone for a C, and Ed, you once again along the same lines as me. For me, I have gone for Brighton. I've given them a bit higher than that. I've given them a C+. And that's what you'll see right here. Brighton, here we go, C+. And the reason I've given them a C+, I do think that Nwepu strengthens their midfield. A massive factor is that they've kept Yves Bissouma as well, who was a sought-after player, quite highly sought after. Sorry, I'm having a few connection issues right here. Let me try and get that sorted for you people. Apologies for that. Let me try and connect now. Sorry, just having a quick look. This should... Apologies, people. Just had to change the network that I was on. But yeah, for a C+, the fact that they kept Yves Bissouma, they've kept a lot of their players, and they have strengthened the squad. Apart from Ben White, but I think that they've made a good sale on that one. They made a decent price out of it. They've got a nice bit of budget, and they've still got some to spend potentially in the future if they do need to. But the reason why I haven't gone higher than a C, I do think they need a striker. With Brighton, they are very good going forward, creating chances defensively, rock solid at the back, but they don't solidify that defense enough. I mean, they don't finish their chances. That's what the Brighton's problem is. So I've gone for a C+. Burnley, I won't spend too long on them because, you know, Burnley, not to offend anyone, but Burnley generally don't impress that much in the transfer market. But for me, this has probably been one of their best the most active transfer markets that they have had in recent years. They didn't sign anyone last season. I think it was Dale Stevens on a free or something like that, or on a very low fee, and he was injured throughout most of the season. Maxwell Cornet, the Lyon left back, who can also play in left wing and right wing, quite a versatile player. So they've strengthened in that left back and right back position, which is probably the areas of weakness. I'd say right back more than left back because I do think Charlie Taylor's a good and decent left back for Burnley. Connor Roberts, he's impressed at Swansea, impressed in the Euros for Wales as well. Age 25 now, so it's now time for him to make that move and make that step up. And he will have a decent time of it at Burnley as well. He will get a lot of game time. I do think he'll suit their system. Quite a dynamic right back he's a good crosser as well. I have watched Connor Roberts play, quite aggressive, and he's strong in the tackle, which is what Sean Dyche will like. Aaron Lennon's come back. Don't know really what to much expect from him, even in Aaron Lennon his prime. Thought he was an average winger. Now he's the age of 34. He was at Burnley before, and now he's come back as he's probably had a nice paycheck from Turkey. Brought in Wayne Hennessy, some more backup, a goalkeeper position, as Nick Pope did struggle with injury. And for me, do you know what? I've gone for Burnley. I will say, Actually, I haven't gone through any of their departures, but their departures weren't that major, to be quite honest. We'll have a look at them now. Ben Gibson wasn't really a starter for them. Age of 28 as well. I didn't realise he was that old. I remember when he was like meant to be a next big thing type of thing, or next English centre back, but 28 now. Went for Norwich at 8.3 million. Burnley, decent window. I'm going to give them a C. I don't think I will put the graphic up. I won't put them there because it's probably taking a little bit too long now. But yeah, Burnley, I've given them a C. Chelsea, let me see what you guys, let me know what you've given Burnley as well. Saw that you gave Brighton a C. Sorry, let me get back onto here. Plus promotion, that's for Brentford. Brentford brought well for me. Didn't overcommit and do a Fulham. Exactly, spend so much money. Brighton, gave them a C. Boney, gave him a C-. Don't think that replaced the quality that they've let go. For me, Brighton didn't replace their centre-back, did they? Not from what I've saw. So they didn't replace Ben White. Shane Duffy, that's the one who's come in. He came in and done a job there, and he was a decent centre-back there. They had Adam Webster there as well, Lewis Dunk, Dan Burns. So I guess you can probably see that they are a bit further up. Tish has gone with a D for Burnley. Yeah, you know about Burnley as well, Tish, having previously worked there. And yeah, so yeah, we'll move on from Burnley now. It's been a little bit too long on Burnley. So we'll move on to Chelsea, who have had one of the better windows. I'm sure everyone can agree on that. Let's have a look at Chelsea's transfer. There we go, Chelsea. Pardon me, excuse me, Chelsea. Fantastic window, bringing in the likes of Lukaku, Saul Niguez on transfer deadline day, which is a massive coup. A player of top, world-class ability for me. One of the best players in his position, on loan for 4.5 million. Marcus Bettinelli is just a backup goalkeeper. So is that actually the signing, all the signings that they did actually make? Okay, that's all they needed, really, the Champions League winners. They needed a centre forward to get those goals in, which he will definitely do. Saul Niguez adds to their midfield balance and adds to their quite depth in midfield now, which they did lack a little bit. Kante is picking up quite a few injuries. Kovacic and Jorginho, but now they've got Saul Niguez there. Two problems for opposition teams. Made a nice book on Tammy Abrahams, Kurt Zuma. Look at the profit they made there in Arsenal. We're struggling in that department. I'm cheering a 26 million for Joe Willock when they've 36 for Tammy Abraham, 31 for Kurt Zuma, 26 for Fikayo Tomori, Davide Zappacosta, Moses leaving as well. Bakayoko's gone out on loan. Look at the departures they've had there. They've really slimmed down on that squad, but they always do. They always send a lot of these players out on loan. Billy Gilmore got time to develop. And that, for me, I have given Chelsea an A. I want to hear yours. I'm going to get into the comments now. Let me hear what you guys are saying. For me, I've given them an A. And Tish, there you go. Stole it already. They are an A for me. So let me hear your opinion on Chelsea's transfer window. DM, nice to see you. My wild card FPL team rate me Sanchez, Steer, I like that one. Dyer, Arnold, Tierney, Duffy, and bench is at Brandon Williams. Okay, so you've gone quite cheap on the defense, except for Alexander Arnold, Tierney as well. Okay, hopefully the Arsenal will defend and concede a lot less goals. Salah as your vice captain, Ferran Torres, Torreira. I do like that midfield. I do like that already. DCL, Lukaku, and Ronaldo. I'm feeling that one. Bench, Alan and Mendy. Okay, I will rate that one out of 10. Diam, I'm going to give that a solid 7 out of 10. You have got Ronaldo in there and Lukaku, who will score a lot of goals. You've still managed to fit Salah into. Sanchez as a cheap 4.5 million goalkeeper. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 7.5 defender. And then you've got Duffy, doesn't concede a lot of goals. Dyer, who's Tottenham are yet to concede a goal. Torreira, he's looked dangerous, and I do think he will go bang soon, and he will score goals. Ferran Torres, he's played up front. You know what? I'm going to up that to an 8, Diam. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you are new. So yes, Chelsea, I've given them an A. And don't forget, leave your opinions and your grades for Chelsea. As the next club we're going to move on to is Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace had a lot of transfer business going on this summer, as they had a lot of players leave, given that their contract ran out. They've got a new manager in Patrick Vieira. Let's have a look at the ins and outs for Crystal Palace. As we saw that, as I previously mentioned, they have had a lot of outs. And we'll move on to that. Andros Townsend leaving. Patrick Van Aanholt was a key player for them. Mamadou Sakho leaving on a free transfer. As you can see, look at all of that. But yeah, he was an important player for them, as alongside Gary Cahill, Scott Dan, Wayne Hennessy, James McCarthy. So yeah, they have lost a lot of players. But here's the replacements that they've brought in. Mark Gahey, impressive loan periods at Swansea. Joachim Anderson, who impressed last season and was one of the better players for Fulham. Odsonne Edouard, who has been linked with Arsenal and Leicester City. I think that is a good signing, in my opinion. He has a lot of technical ability. It's just a question now whether can he carry that form and that into the Premier League, with a much more competitive and a harder league to transition to. 50 million, let's say. Michael Elise, a highly rated talent from the Championship, adds more creativity to the likes of Zaha and Eze. Will Hughes is a decent pickup who had a lot of potential growing as well. Hasn't quite fulfilled it. Is a decent box-to-box midfielder for 6.3 million. Add some more midfield depth in there. Conor Gallagher's brought in. He's already smashed it, hit the ground running with 2 goals on his second appearance for Crystal Palace. Looked very impressive in his first one as well. Was their most dangerous player. As I previously mentioned in the Premier League review for the first weekend. So for me, I have gone for a B for Crystal Palace. I've gone for a B, and I think that's quite solid. I want to hear what you guys are saying, as they have had a lot of players leave, a lot of key players leaving as well, but they have replaced them quite well in terms of bringing in younger players, quality as well, quite good reputation. Hopefully that they will gel, and that they will link up and cause some problems for opposition teams, as it will take them time to adapt and develop and really assimilate and build that team chemistry that Patrick Vieira wants, as he's brand new to the league as a manager, of course, not as a player. So yes, it's going to be interesting to see how Crystal Palace do, but I have rated their window quite highly. And the next team that we will go over to is actually, in fact, Everton, who, when you look at the face of it, it was quite an underwhelming window. Compared to last season when they brought in James Rodriguez, Alan, and where it was really exciting for Everton fans. But because of that, they haven't really been able to spend much, and bringing in the likes of Damari Gray, Lonergan as a coach, I reckon, and just Townsend on a free. Begovic has come in as well to provide backup for the goalkeeper position. Solomon Rondon, which I saw in your comment, Ed, before I started this video, that you did rate that signing, and that was one of the ones that you were looking out for, as Rafa Benitez has had Rondon at Newcastle and impressed there and made a move to China off the back of that. So we'll have to wait and see who's replacing Moise Kean, who's gone out on loan to Juventus, who's gone there to replace Ronaldo. Sold Bernard for a minimal fee, but more to get him off the wages. Yannick Bolasie, free transfer. Joshua King left on a free transfer too. I forgot the fact that they signed him, actually. Was it a permanent? Let me know. Oh, I didn't even know that. So yeah, Niels Nkuku, Theo Walcott left. He officially left on a free transfer to Southampton. Okay. I thought he left in last January. But for me, I've given Everton, I would have prior to the season. Oh, sorry, I've still got Crystal Palace left on the screen. My apologies for that. For me, Everton, I would have actually given them a C, a D, but I've given them a C now. And for the fact that Damari Gray has impressed and Josh Townsend has made an impact to their team, a team that was already quite well built, and given the circumstances that they have had, I will give Everton a C. The next team I'll move on to is Leeds United. I'm going to try and get through these a bit quicker now, as, it will be quite easy to run through these. Leeds United, for me, looking at their transfer business, their departures, like losing Alioski, who played a lot of games for Leeds last season, Pablo Hernandez struggled with injuries, was a key part in them getting promoted, a key player for them in the creative and attacking aspect. Jan Poveda, who's gone out on loan, Helder Costa out on loan too. And they have replaced them with the likes of Dan James, who I do think is a good signing. I said this, I don't actually think is a good signing. I don't know where I'm coming from there. I'm just kind of rushing through that. But it's a bit of a questionable signing for me. I don't think he automatically gets into their first team. I do think Rafinha and Jack Harrison are better. The fact that he provides more depth and he is a dangerous player with his pace, yeah, that's quite decent. I don't think his decision making is required at the level of a Premier League winger. Consistency week in, week out. Have some good games for Manchester United, and is a good winger. Does have so much threat with that pace and will trap back going backwards too. So you got to give him credit for that. Junior Firpo at left back, they have upgraded on that position, so I'll give him props there. And he's a better left back than Alioski. It's just about settling into that Marcelo Bielsa system, keeping Jack Harrison on a permanent, and I'm getting him for 11 million after he impressed last season in the Premier League. Had him on loan for 2 seasons now, I believe. Brought back up in the goalkeeper position with a young Norwegian centre-back goalkeeper. So yeah, for me, I've given Leeds a C-. Let me know what you guys think. A C- is probably a decent rating, and Leeds fans will be happy with that. Got another comment here. B+ for Palace. Biggest signing is Vieira. I know, Boney, that you love that one. And being an Arsenal fan, I do hope he does succeed. And you never know. Would you take him at the Arsenal? Most definitely, if he's a good manager. So yeah, it just depends on if he can prove his worth there. C+ for Everton. Keane. For Everton, Keane, good signing. When you say Keane, he's actually left. Moise Keane. He's gone to Juventus. So do you think that's a good signing for Juventus? Let me know. But yes, the next team that I'm going on to, we're about to reach halfway, and we're 45 minutes in, is Leicester City. So let me get that banner up for you now. I've got to show Leeds' banner. But yes, next team we have here is Leicester City. And off the back of a decent season where they did disappoint in the end, and was it really out of their hands? Well, disappointing in the Premier League. They did win the FA Cup, so it wasn't a disappointing season for Leicester fans. I think they have had a really good transfer window, especially with their arrivals. Let's have a look at their departures. Gazelle, they've not lost any of their key players, only squad players. Dennis Pratt's the closest one to a key player, and for me, he was a backup midfielder. But as we've seen here, bringing in Patson Daka, who's got a lot of potential, very quick and pacey striker, scored a lot of goals in RB Salzburg. If you can transition that into the Premier League, getting him for less than 30 million, could prove to be a good signing. At the face value of it, does look like a good signing. And I can say the same for Boubakary Samore, who is a key player in that central midfield next to Andre at Lille in their league winning season, overcoming the likes of PSG. Yannick Vestergaard had a good season at Southampton, was an important player for them. Ryan Bertrand, another important player for Southampton. They're becoming the new Liverpool, taking these Southampton players, adding more depth onto the wing, and hopefully seeing him, Ademola Lookman, who did impress for one of the few players alongside Joachim Anderson, who I previously mentioned, who impressed for Fulham and did look a threat, is now a winger that they have signed on loan from Leipzig. Will he play in that right wing position that has been a problem for them? We'll have to wait and see. And for that reason, I have given Leicester a B+. They deserve that for me. Leicester, fantastic window, one of the best windows that you'll see in the Premier League. B+. Strengthened in the first team, strengthened in depth, and not lost any key players. You can't go wrong there. They should kick on. All eyes on Brendan Rodgers now, and because they do have that depth now, which they did miss, which was their stumbling block for the last 2 seasons, given the injuries they sustained. And, you know, for me, I'm not Brendan Rodgers' biggest fan. I do think it can be a bottle job at the top level. I know that's quite controversial, as a lot of Arsenal fans wouldn't mind having Brendan Rodgers as our manager, but we'll have to wait and see for me. What's Boney saying now? B+, always strengthen well. Exactly. See, great minds think alike, Wilfred. I love that one. But yes, Leicester, B+ for me. Let's go on to the next one, which is Liverpool. And I won't even spend too long on them at all. Apart from, I think for me, it's a disappointing window. Liverpool fans may not feel the same. They have strengthened in depth. They've not strengthened in their first team at all, as we've seen at the start of the season, as Klopp has gone for Matip and Van Dijk. It's an important thing for them was getting their players back fit. But I do think that they need squad depth as well, as not just in the centre-back position, but having lost the likes of Shaqiri, who was a squad player, Wijnaldum, who was a starter, and losing him on a free was quite disappointing for them. And they haven't replaced in that central midfield position and ultimately lost depth there in an already squad that relies on their first 11 quite a lot, where they do pick up a lot of injuries with the likes of Henderson, Keita, Thiago. So for me, and that reason, I have gone for an F. Pardon me, excuse me. I've gone for an F for Liverpool, you know. And for that reason, losing a key player like Wijnaldum, not replacing him, already lacking in depth, I don't think that it will impact their season. I know I'm not saying that, the transfer window's so poor, they're going to have a horrific season. And as you can see there, Liverpool didn't even make profit in this transfer window. So, do you know what I mean? So, and for that reason, I'm going to give him an F. Let me know what you think, Boney, and anyone else watching. And in the comments below, if you're any Liverpool fans that are watching, correct me. Tell me the reasons why Liverpool have had a good window, or if you agree, let me know. So, yeah, for me, Liverpool, F. Manchester City now. Manchester City with the £100 million spent on Jack Grealish, not landing the likes of Harry Kane or Ronaldo, who they were linked with. Whether we truly know if that was a serious link, like they were seriously in for him, shall I say? It was a serious link. They did think about him, but did they go into him as much as some people like to make out? Jack Grealish spending £100 million on there. A player that is a luxury player. Well, they can afford it. They are the title winners. They are the English champions. Kakai, who's not coming in until January, I believe, unless I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. In terms of departures, selling Angelino to Leipzig, who hasn't quite cut it there at Manchester City, but is impressed at Leipzig. Jack Harrison, who's left for Leeds. They've made a profit on him. Nemecha, a profit there, so that's a decent sale. Losing Aguero, not replacing him. And do you know what? For that reason, I've given them a D-. The fact that they didn't bring in that striker that they were so clearly after, willing to spend 100, however much they put in a bid for Tottenham for Harry Kane. Not signing a striker. I know Pep Guardiola's come out and he spoke about, like, yes, we don't need that. We won a league without a striker. Ferran Torres, we've been trying to like bed him in and make him the striker, as he has impressed against Arsenal at the start of the season. There you go, Boney, smashing, agreeing with me. Needed to bring in 2 players at least. For me, for Manchester City, looking at their squad, they needed a left back. You are right, actually. They needed a left back and a striker. So I actually agree with you there. Dean, Leicester had Mahrez, Gray, Kante, Chilwell and Maguire, but they are a business team. Clearly, if they didn't care about money a lot, they could have entered Champions League every year. It's a D for them. Well, actually, Dean, Leicester have spent a lot of money over the years. Their owners are billionaire owners. They are one of the richest owners in the league, in fact. Yes, they don't splash the cash, and they have a strategy in selling players for a major profit, and they do recruit quite well, and they have stuck to that plan. Maybe one day they will just go bang and probably keep. They have kept players this summer as well. They have kept the likes of Ndidi, Maddison, who was linked to Arsenal for 70+ million. And if they would have sold Maddison for 70+ million, I'm sure they would have been happy. Kept Barnes, Vardy still there. Tielemans, who's linked to Liverpool. I think it's a good summer for them. I can see where you're coming from losing Mahrez, who did actually want to leave. They kept him in the first season when Arsenal were interested, remember? And then Manchester City came knocking on the door. Kante, they made a massive profit on that, and he was one of the most sought-after midfielders in the league, in the world, shall I say. Chilwell, they are happy. Leicester fans, if you speak to Leicester fans, they were happy to let Chilwell go, and especially for 50 million, and Maguire, 80 million, you can't refuse that. And have they looked much weaker at the back without Maguire? So I actually disagree with you there, but I do see where you're coming from. B+, man. Grealish, top signing, missing out on Kane. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You gave him a B+. I thought you was talking D- for Manchester City there. But yeah, I gave him a D-. Grealish is a good signing, but is it what they needed? Now having kept the likes of Bernardo Silva, does Grealish drastically improve their first 11? Not for me, not for the likes what Kane would have, or even adding a left back, Nuno Mendes. Let me say that because, I'm not Portuguese. But yeah, Nuno Mendes going to PSG. They were heavily linked with him in the summer, at the start of the summer, and before the transfer window started. And with what's happening to Benjamin Mendy, he's not coming back. So they are literally relying on Zinchenko and João Cancelo. And João Cancelo isn't even a left back. He has performed well there, so you can't really say that. But yeah, Know-how, nice to see you, man. Take care. Well, when I'm saying take care, you've just come into the stream. I'm just giving a grade. And for me, and if you've just joined, I've just given Manchester City a D-. Give me, and we're about to move on to, you're a Manchester United fan, if I'm correct. So we're about to move on to Manchester United now, who have had one of the best windows that any Manchester United fan could wish for. Let's go through their signings. Hold on. There we go. Easily made for me. Oh, one sec. There we go. Manchester United, one of the best windows out of all teams in the world. Let me know your grade. Get your grade in right now. Perfect timing, exactly. It was just destiny that was going to talk about Manchester United as soon as you're here. Wearing the purple as well, just like the colour on your logo. But yeah, Manchester United, their departures, Daniel James, Andres Pereira, not losing any key players or any major players, but bringing in the likes of Jadon Sancho, who they wanted from last season, got him on a cheaper deal than they would have had to pay last season as well. Rafael Varane, one of the best centre-backs in the world, bringing in for 36 million. Cristiano Ronaldo, do I need to really go much depth on that one? Bringing a legend, not world-class player, one of the greatest players of our lives and anyone else's, bringing him back, and age of 36, but more plays like 31. Goal scoring record hasn't waned down, as you saw against Ireland. If anyone's watching and you are Irish, I am sorry for what Ronaldo did in the last minutes, where you thought you were even going to pick up a victory, at least a draw. Sorry. So yeah, Ronaldo, one of the greatest players. Got Tom Heaton as a third choice goalkeeper as well, which is a really good third choice, with David De Gea and Dean Henderson fighting for the positions and keeping Dalot. Only problem for me is that centre defensive midfielder. That's what you needed. You needed that more than Ronaldo, but you can't pass up on the opportunity to sign Ronaldo. And for that reason, I have gone for Manchester United. I have given them an A-. Yep, A- for Manchester United. Let me know your ratings. They are the second highest behind Chelsea. I think Chelsea did have a better window, keeping the players that they have. Signing Lukaku, they filled out every position for me that they needed. I know some people might say Chelsea, yes, they didn't get Koundé though. Trevor Chalobah has impressed so much. I don't think they actually needed Koundé. And Koundé, they have already got their first centre-backs. Their starting 11 sorted. They don't need to add there in terms of the centre-back position, with Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Aspilicueta, Christensen. So that's why I've gone for Chelsea higher, but Manchester United just a bit lower with an A-. I mean, A- isn't a bad result even to receive on results day, is it really? Unless, you're trying to get an A-. But yeah, Be happy with that one. Newcastle, I'm not going to spend too long on them as they didn't spend too much time in the transfer window. Already spoken about Joel Willock, so I'm not going to go too much depth on that one. If you do want to, just go back and give that a watch. Newcastle, I can't even remember any more signings that they made apart from that Santiago Munoz, not Munez, where if you was on Twitter or on social media, if any of you watch Goal, you'll know what I'm talking about when it comes to Santiago Munoz. So, yeah, and they didn't sign anyone else apart from Joe Willock, departures, Christian Atsu. For me, they haven't improved their team, and I've actually given Newcastle, alongside Liverpool, an F. Quite poor for me. But before I go into Newcastle, and I probably should have done this earlier, let me hear what Diam's saying. I'm jealous because I'm an angry Arsenal fan. Don't you worry, Diam. I am too. And I'm both jealous and an angry Arsenal fan. That's why I give bad ratings. Sorry, though. Quite embarrassing for me to admit that I am an Arsenal fan. Don't you worry, Diam. I'm here with you as an Arsenal fan. Wait there. Can you see the shirt? Oh, I took the shirt down. Here it is. My Bukayo Saka shirt. You know, I'm not wearing it because I'm an embarrassed Arsenal fan at the moment. But here we are, sharing the love and sharing the pain. A+ for me. We managed to keep Phil Jones, so I'm happy. Gillian, giving a shout. Man United A+. Ronaldo makes it an A+. My wild card for the title. CR7 is a winner. I can see where you're coming from, having signed Cristiano Ronaldo, but they do need that central defensive midfielder. I don't think they will win the title for that reason. Who knows? Ronaldo, anything's possible with Ronaldo in the team. If I'm honest, we don't need two class goalkeepers. I agree. That's not a good place to have major competition. Spot on there as well. I think goalkeepers are confidence players. Might be wrong though. I do agree as well. You can't really be switching goalkeepers. Goalkeepers need to pick up a rhythm, and defenders as well. They need to understand the goalkeeper that they are playing with and build a relationship with them. Whether the goalkeeper, like with Dean Henderson and David De Gea, I do think Dean Henderson is better with the ball at his feet than a David De Gea. Not that much better, but he's better. And David De Gea is a different style, like a different style of goalkeepers as well. And it's not very easy for defenders to get used to that. So, yeah, I do agree with you there. They do need to have the same voice behind them consistently on a consistent basis, especially season in, season out. It's okay to swap goalkeepers one season and then the next, but you do need to build that bit of stability. Arteta thinks he's playing FIFA. He can't play fullbacks as CB. Arteta out. Are you actually Arteta? Are you joking? I don't know. You might be. Well, not many. Well, there's many Arsenal fans that are Arteta out. Am I one of them? I don't know. I'm Arteta unsure. That's what I am. F as well for Newcastle, needed to buy more. Exactly, Boney. Really do agree with you. Man United attack is ridiculous and will batter teams into submission. On the whole, yes, and that's why they will make top four. Guaranteed with Ronaldo. They would have made top four anyway for that, like without Ronaldo, but that solidifies them. And they are in a title race with Ronaldo. They will batter teams, but when they come up against the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, who have a decent team and better midfield, arguably, is it better? Arguably better midfield than Manchester United. As we saw with Southampton, they struggled to break them down. I know it's a bit different now that Ronaldo's there, and they struggled to break down Wolves. Also, once again, Ronaldo didn't play in that game. It does make a big difference, Boney, the midfield for me, and you will see that. It will end up showing because Ronaldo's not going to be the CDM. Ronaldo's not going to pick up the ball from deep and link play. That's not his game, and that's not what we've seen from Ronaldo in the past few years. He's not even the same left winger that Manchester United last saw him as. He's a definite box striker that needs that service. Yes, Bruno can provide that, but you don't want Bruno dropping too deep, and you don't want to be taken from Pogba's game either, as I don't think he's the best defensive midfielder. Defensively constant. He's got the attributes, but he doesn't have the mentality in terms of the mental attributes, which is concentration throughout the 90 minutes, as we saw against Wolves as well, where he should have got a red card. But I'm not going to spend too much on that one because we're talking about transfer windows here. Fadley, nice to see you again. I'm on my wild card. I know you are Arsenal fans. Should I go for an Arsenal defence? Does Tierney worth the 0.5 million more than Ben White? You know what? I would, as Fadsley, I'm an optimistic Arsenal fan. So I would go for an Arsenal defence because, as we've seen with Mikel Arteta until the start of the season, Arsenal's defence has been a lot stronger, and we don't concede that many goals until we saw the start of the season. But I do think there was different circumstances that has caused that, with COVID, injuries, a lot of signings, people leaving. We will see a more settled back four now, and I do believe that Ben White will be a part of that. So for me, I would say, yes, go for an Arsenal defender. For me, I've gone for Ben White in my fantasy football team. Is Tierney worth the 0.5 million? It depends. If you have got that to spare, I would go for Tierney because he's going to get a lot more attacking returns. He will get assists, goals, and you know what? I think Ben White isn't going to be an aerial threat either. So he's not even like, oh yeah, but he's a centre-back who's going to go for corners. I don't think he'll score many goals, if any at all. So yeah, I would go for Tierney as well. And yes, I would go for an Arsenal defender in your fancy Premier League team, as we're not that expensive given the position that we are in. But for the next team anyway, we're coming towards the end. And we're not going to spend too long on these types of clubs, but we're going to go for Norwich next. Norwich City. As I'm looking at my grade here, so not that impressive for me. Norwich never really do impress in the transfer window. Milot Rashica, who made risky signing, didn't have a good season last. Had a much better one the season before. Christos Solis, who doesn't really improve the first team right now, a player with a lot of potential. Josh Sargent, don't know too much about him. Ben Gibson, who was on loan there, I believe, or was he on loan there? Let me know. So yeah, I don't think it's a particularly impressive transfer window. Lees Melu, Kabak, Billy Gilmore, who's quite impressive. Brandon Williams. Yeah, for me, I would have given Norwich and the departures, losing Buendia, that's the big thing. How did I forget that? They'd have kept Buendia. Look, it's a different story, but losing Buendia, a massive attacking outlet for them, created so many chances. They haven't signed a striker that is, I deem, good enough for Norwich. So for that reason, I've given them a D. Norwich, giving them a D, but let me go back just to the comments a second. Can the Brentford start now? I hate the international break. Exactly. I agree with you there. But you know what? I don't mind it in this sense, given the position that Arsenal are in, and we do need players to come back. Thomas Partey still yet to be in full training that I know of, or play a game anyway. He didn't play in a behind closed door friendly. Semedo plus Ben White or Connor Cody. Okay. I'd get rid of Semedo, you know. I think I'd get rid of Semedo. You got to have Trent Alexander-Arnold. You got to have a Liverpool defender, Fadsley. In my opinion, you do have to have one. They will keep many clean sheets, especially from what we've seen. They kept Aarons. Yeah, I guess. But was there really much interest or concrete interest in him? I don't think they would have kept him if a team put in a bid where they can't reject. Do you know what I mean? So even 30 million, I think they would have taken for Aarons. E for Norwich going back down. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they've lost Buendia probably does deserve an E. Yeah. Do you know what? Changed my mind. Boney. Wilfred. Boney. I've gone for an E. So yes. Southampton are next. Southampton next for me in this transfer window. Have lost some key players. The likes of Danny Ings, Vestergaard, who we previously spoke about, as well as Danny Ings as well. Lost too many key players for me. Bertrand, there's 3 key players that they've lost. They have replaced those positions, but have they replaced the ready-made quality? They were all risks with the likes of Adam Armstrong coming from the Championship, Roman Perraud, who I do think is a decent player, but yet to prove himself in the Premier League, and Lian Sao, never heard of him before up until he came. Torino's people who watch Serie A might know of him. I do think Valentino Livramento is a good signing. You've heard me rave about him before. Theo Walcott getting him back, yeah, meh type of thing at the age that he is at. Thierry Small, don't know about him. Mando Broja from Chelsea under-23s, who was on loan at Vitesse. Impressed at Vitesse last season. Once again, yet see him in the Premier League, though. For me, I've gone for a D- for Southampton for losing those players and bringing in risky signings with Armstrong, Parade, and is it Linecow or Linecow? No, Linecow or Liancow. Yeah, sorry. I would be spending all this time here trying to pronounce these names. Let me know what you guys think. There was loads of interest on my FM21 save. What's that interest on Armstrong, Parade? I think that's probably Parade or Valentino Livramento. Let me know which one you're on about this. Oh, loads of interest on Max Aarons. Okay, sorry. Apologies. Yeah. He's one of them highly rated players on FM. And on FIFA as well. He's the same on there. C for Southampton. They always sell a lot, but know how to cope. So, yeah, you're trusting in their recruitment. I know you're playing now. Yeah, I do know you're playing. I get it. So I get a little bit lost sometimes. Like I forget what I've just really previously spoken about. I did kind of get it just before you said for Aaron's. But, yeah, you are right. He does receive a lot of interest on there. I think I have signed him for Arsenal, my Arsenal career mode as well. I mean, and FM. So, yes. But Watford is the next. No, sorry. I've skipped Tottenham. That's what I always try and do in my mind. I can't really skip them at the moment, though. They are top of the league. And Tottenham, I want to hear your guys. Boney, let me hear how you've rated the Spuds. I know it's not going to be high. But do you know what? They have had a good window. Keeping Harry Kane is fantastic. Harry Kane, son, I've still got Newcastle on the screen. Harry Kane, Son, keeping them, tying Son down to a new contract, bringing in centre-back, Christian Romero, upgrading on the right back, bringing in a top midfielder with a lot of potential. When I mean top midfielder, a midfielder with a lot of potential, strengthening in goalkeeper depth. Do you know what? I've given a B for Tottenham. I don't want to spend too long praising Tottenham Hotspur. I feel like I've done that a lot for Chelsea. But yeah, they've got to have a B for me, given the fact that they've spent Christian. What is it, a loan transfer as well? So they're not paying anything just yet, as well as Galini and Brian Hill, who's highly rated, young player, young talent, getting rid of the likes of Juan Foyth, Alderweireld, Sissoko, Joe Hart, getting rid of the old guard there, apart from Foyth. He didn't really settle into the Premier League and had a good, obviously, loan spell at Villarreal, making money on that. Lamela leaving too, Gazaniga, and getting rid of Serge Aurier, the clown. I can't really say the clown. I mean, he's a decent right back going forward, but defensively he's just a liability. So, yeah. For me, Tottenham, Spurs, they deserve a B. I've given Tottenham a B. Let me know what you think. If not, you don't want to give Spurs praise. I understand where you're coming from. But Watford are the next team as we're approaching our final three teams. Watford, they spent, I don't know if they spent a lot of money, but they have had so many players come in from when I looked at their squad and their transfers earlier today. Let's have a look. Louza, Dennis, Sissoko, Tufan, Pollock, Danny Rose, Fletcher, King, Barr, Etebo, Kruchka. Yeah, the list, and it doesn't go on, but that's so many players. I've read out all their signings. Losing quite a few players. Will Hughes, Dawson, success, who wasn't much of a success, but going to Italy. Ben Wilmot, Lazar, and Troy Deeney, the big one, the captain. Chalobah, I didn't even realise he's went to Fulham. So yeah, he's living next to his brother who came. He's probably back home, probably living with his brother. Who knows? Trevor. But they're all both in West London, and he's back to West London now. Peñaranda, who looked quite good for Las Palmas against Wolves in the pre-season. Don't ask me why, I know that. He scored against them. So yeah, they have had a lot of departures as well as incomings. And for that, I don't think Watford are going to stay up, and I've given them a D. I know I've given quite a few teams a lot of Ds in this transfer window. I don't think it has been. I think COVID has affected most of them. But Creambone, he has given his input on Spurs, B+ for the Spuds. But as they always do, they'll turn a silk purse into a soldier. I hope you're all right with that one. Hopefully Christian Romero doesn't hit the ground running, is a calamity, is another Serge Aurier, is another Matt Doherty, is another Eric Dyer. So yes, know-how. Yes, I do watch the Cycling GK, Ben Foster. So much entertainment there. I've given the story before. I'll give it to you just in case you haven't heard. I saw Ben Foster in an interview once. I think it was on Soccer AM. And from then I was like, yo, this is one of the most interesting footballers out there. Just from an interview, I just had that vibe. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to see more of him. I didn't think he should do YouTube. I just thought, yeah, if he does more interviews, I'll give him a watch. And guess what? He only went and created a YouTube channel not long after. So I subscribed to him from the early days. As soon as I found that, as soon as it came up on my recommended page. Do you think Calvert-Lewin will play against Burnley game week 4? Yeah, if he's has Calvert-Lewin suffered with an injury? I think I heard something about that. Is he in the England squad? Or I think he pulled out with an injury, didn't he? If for that reason, I don't know. I actually don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to have a look for you right now. Let me have a look. I know it's a bit off topic, but may as well get the engagement up. Just put Calvert. Lewin. He got an injury. Could it be detrimental? I don't think he's got an injury. Let me know in the comments below if he has or anything like that. Okay, injury forces. Okay, yeah, I did see this. So I was right. He does have an injury. Broken toe and thigh strain. I wouldn't put Calvert-Lewin in your team. Yeah, after looking at that, he's got 2 injuries, not just the one. So yeah, nah, not for me. But yes, back to Arsenal. Okay, I know you've covered Arsenal, but what's their CM depth looking like? Partey, Xhaka, Lokonga, Elneny, and Maitland-Niles potentially, and that's 5. And then, so yeah, it's not looking great with the fact that Partey's always been injured. Xhaka's our next best centre midfielder. Doesn't strike me with confidence, and that's why. What did I give Arsenal in the end? I gave Arsenal a C- because we didn't, for a balance, for a mixture of not getting rid of enough players and not bringing in a central defensive midfielder. So that's my problem with Arsenal. I did think we needed to sign 2 centre mids, and I did think that central midfield was a key position know-how. So I don't think we do have enough depth. What do you think? I'm sure the fact that you're asking that question makes you inclined to agree. So yeah. And then so I gave Watford a D in the end. The next team, West Ham, who I do think have had a good window, have improved in squad depth with the signings that they have made, and they have kept on to the likes of Declan Rice. Look at that. Kurt Zouma improves their first 11. Nikola Vlasic improves squad depth. Alex Krall improves squad depth too. Don't think he gets into the midfield straight away. Maybe next season, Declan Rice leaves and he comes in and takes that position. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Bringing in Craig Dawson as well. Afonso Areola, improving their squad depth, which was a major issue given the fact that they are now in the Europa League. And keeping on to the likes of Declan Rice, getting rid of Felipe Anderson off of the wages. Balbuena, who's left. I didn't even know he left, actually, but they've signed Kurt Zouma, so it makes total sense. Keeping Antonio, Bowen, Benrahma, Declan Rice. For me, West Ham deserve a B. That rhymes. And to the last team now, Wolverhampton Wanderers, the local team to myself. Haven't had that much of an impressive window in my eyes. Wolves fans who are watching in the comments below, let me know what you think of your window, bringing in Aït-Nouri on a permanent, Jose Sarr as a replacement for Patricio, Squera, a young centre-back. Didn't even know you signed this Bola from is that Ferencváros? No, it's another Hungarian team. Tilinkal, I think that's a good signing. Wang Yi-chan, we'll have to wait and see. For me, I think the fact that you have brought forward, which is what you needed, kind of brings them up in my estimates. But Ultimately, didn't bring the central midfielder that you needed, a first team centre back that was required. Don't think you've upgraded. I think you probably, at best, stayed the same in goalkeeper. Haven't brought, and striker's a bit of a risk as well. For me, I've gone for a D- for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let me know what you think, people. But Wilfred Boney has said a solid A for West Ham. More to do with who they've kept plus added. Do you know what? I could bump it up to an A. And Boney, once again, I'm going to change my mind. I have gone for an A for West Ham. So let me just give you a quick one through. And on the banners, Arsenal, C-. Aston Villa, B. Brentford, D-. Brighton, C+. And then I haven't wrote Burnley's down, but Burnley, I gave them ace. I gave Burnley a C. I think it was a C-, actually C-. Chelsea, I gave them an A. Crystal Palace, a B. Everton, I gave them a C. Leeds, C-. Leicester, B+, could be an A as well, actually. Liverpool, F. Manchester City, D- for not bringing in that striker that they needed. Manchester United, A-, just below Chelsea because they didn't get that CDM. I know as Creambone said A+ because of Ronaldo. I don't think it'll be good enough to win them the league, in my opinion. You said that they are your dark horses, so we'll have to wait and see. Newcastle, F. Norwich, D. Southampton, I went for a D-. Tottenham, B. Watford, C. Oh, actually, I'll go for a D for what I went for a D for Watford. West Ham, I've gone for an A. You know what? A because of Creambone. And Wolves, D-. Guys, I'm going to wrap that one up there, but let me get through some of your comments first. Creambone said D for Wolves. Know-how has gone a little bit higher with a C-. They've surely not done that much worse than Burnley. I mean, relative terms to Burnley, they did make a signing. They made 2 signings and improved their first 11 for me, know-how. With Max Alcorne and Connor Roberts, they will come into the first team and improve the first team. For Wolves, as I'm going to have a look, have they really improved the first 11? Goalkeeper doesn't improve it for me from last season. They haven't brought Mosquera, doesn't improve their first 11. Trincao is the only player. But yeah, and Wolves needed a striker that, as we've seen with the first 3 games, their performances have been excellent, but they just haven't got that striker ready yet. Unless Raul Jimenez comes back and returns to that previous form. Let me know what you think. Oh, okay. Trincao will do more than Cornet. Yeah, I agree with that one. Do you know what? Know how you've convinced me as well. You have convinced me as well. He has looked very impressive. He has looked very impressive for Wolves. And for that reason, what did I give Burnley now? Okay, sorry, I keep forgetting. I gave Burnley a C-. Do you know what? Wolves get a C then. Wolves get a C in the end. Yeah, this is why I enjoy the debates, and because you really are helping me. And honestly, I'm not stubborn. So if you do raise points that make me think, you know what? Yeah, I enjoy it. And thank you so much. Great show, T-Money. Really enjoyed it. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you so much. It has been a long one. It's been 18 minutes longer than I planned. But you know what? I've enjoyed it. And thank you for all of you joining. If you are brand new, leave a like on the stream. Let me just get my big head up on the stream right now. Way, exactly. Know how you've convinced me. But yeah, smashed it again. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Know How. Thank you, Creambone. Thank you to everyone else who has been here in the chat. If you are new, subscribe, like this video so we can push it out there, share it. You saw my spit then. I'm getting so excited. I'm spitting. But yeah, thank you so much, people. I hope you have a good weekend. I will be back with another video this weekend. I'm not sure if I'll get it out on Saturday or Sunday, but stay tuned. Turn that post notification bell on. You're making it hard to miss a show. I can't even read at the moment. I'm struggling with my reading this week. But yeah, you're making it hard to miss a show. Thank you, Know How. I really do appreciate it. There you go. He's got the bell right there. Thank you very much, people. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you later.